Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. They said Ebony's hand was swollen like a calabash, round and heavy, completely out of shape. Her arms looked deformed, the skin stretched tight and shining from the, swelling. And, the pain she was in was unbearable. She collapsed to the floor, tears streaming down her face, crying and begging for relief. But it was clear that she could not move her hand on her own. Every moment she spent on the floor, the swelling seemed to grow more. The palace women rushed to her side, some shouting, some crying, some trying to think of ways to help her. People around her started talking loudly, some even mocking her, not out of cruelty, but because everyone could see clearly what happened when tradition and power meet impulsiveness. They warned her repeatedly, stop this madness, stop now. Do you not have a child to care for? Do you not know where your limits are? They shouted, their voices tense, urgent, pleading. It was a whole lot that happened there. Ebony, is a proud woman, but in that moment, all her pride crumbled. She had challenged the jewel, and now the consequences were terrifying. Real Adetutu, the one who had suspended her hand, is not just a powerful figure in the palace. She is a princess. She deeply rooted in traditional knowledge, a keeper of ancient right, and a woman whose spiritual authority is recognized not only in the palace but across towns and even beyond. She belonged to a line of people trained in sacred arts, someone who could perform rituals that most people would never understand. Her power is immense, and it is well known that when she focused her energy, no ordinary person could resist it. Ebony was painfully aware of this. Now, they say Adetutu is kind in nature. She had helped many in the palace and had been had been a protector to many who respected her and followed tradition. But it came to the jewel. From what they are saying, they say when it comes to the jewel, Adetutu does not joke. If you carry your madness to the jewel, Adetutu is ready to, finish that madness for you. When it comes to the jewel, Adetutu does not joke. For some reason, she really, her spirit and that of the jewel really came together. What she did was not mainly physical, it was spiritual. Using her knowledge, she suspended Ebony's arm in mid-air, controlling it with forces most people could not see or understand. The swelling that followed was also a result of spiritual energy. It was a warning, a demonstration of her power, and a way to make sure that Ebony understood the limit of her action. As the hour passed, the swelling grew. The hand became so large, almost like bread, rising in an oven. The palace women panicked, realizing that this was not something they could fix by simple means. They had to call in traditional medicine, herbal mixture prepared by the most skilled, healers in the palace. They used warm water infused with leaves, root, and powder with spiritual and medicinal properties. Some of these ingredients were, of course, they say bitter leaf, uli seed, and, sacred white chalk mixed into a paste. This is not ordinary medicine. It was a combination of physical and spiritual healing meant to reduce the swelling while respecting the authority that had caused it. Welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Dela Ram. I bring you fresh and spicy gist from the source. And still on the royals. How are you guys doing? I appreciate you so much. I love you. I do my people. If you're yet to subscribe, kindly go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And do not forget to turn on the notification bell. And do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys so much. Yes, so they say people surrounded Ebony as the healers walked, some holding her hand gently. She was crying, whispering prayers, and others begging her to calm down. They reminded her again and again, Adetutu's powers is unmatched. It's not something you can match. You need to stay away from Adetutu. She's kind, yes, but she is 1,000,000 times stronger than you in the spiritual realm. She could see beyond ordinary perception. She could sense intentions, and she could act instantly when someone challenged the jewel. Ebony's only chance was to submit, to respect the tradition, and to accept the consequences of her impulsiveness. It is not a small thing, no. The process of applying the traditional medicine was meticulous. The healers poured, warm water over the swollen hand, massaging carefully with mixture that includes, sacred herbs, root, and oil, blessed by Adetutu herself. They chanted softly while doing things, invoking words to calm the spiritual energy that caused the swelling. At this time, they said Ebony was in her own chamber. She was all very, very upset. And because of that, that whole drama with Ebony delayed that ritual. They said they had to finish that ritual around 1 a.m. at night, because they started the ritual around 11. Now, the ritual that was supposed to start early in the day could not start because of that drama from Ebony. And, how Ebony ignited the anger of, the Adetutu. They said throughout this ordeal, the jewel stood nearby watching, still frozen in shock and uncertainty. She could see how serious the palace tradition was, how deep the power of Adetutu ran, and how dangerous it could be to challenge her. The chief and, palace elders watched silently, understanding that what had happened was both a spiritual lesson and a demonstration of authority. The air was tense but also respectful. Even in her pain, Ebony could not help but feel the weight of the lesson. Adetutu, though firm and unyielding in her action, was a kind human being. She did not prolong the pain unnecessarily. Her intention was not to harm, but to teach, to warn, and to maintain the sacred order. Anyone who respected her and Jewel would see this as an act of protection, not cruelty. Her eyes softened slightly, and the healers walk, acknowledging that Ebony was learning the hard way, but her power remained, Adetutu's power remained unshakable. Adetutu, for the first time, they say, since she came to that palace, she used to warn Ebony to stay away from her. They say Adetutu has warned Ebony in several occasions to stay away from her. Don't get me angry, because if you get me angry, you will not like what they said. Why she got angry was that Ebony lifted her hand to hit the jewel. According to her later, she said she didn't even know that she was angry because the jewel pushed her. Okay, Ebony said the jewel pushed her and she almost fell. Now, she held the jewel on her clothes in the shoulder. The jewel pushed her hand, she lost balance and almost fell. That is different from the jewel pushing her and she almost fell. And when she got angry and wanted to slap the jewel, that was when Adetutu did what she did. But it was just a very big lesson to Ebony. I'm going to bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and should not be seen as fact.